Again, the fact that we were able to pull off an event of the century, like, it's just insane.
Even more once he was assassinated. Once he was assassinated.
This indicates anticipation.
Oh, look at all the thumbs up. Look how cute that is. Sorry, this is a little bit more informal than probably Charlie would be reacting. How sweet. I just wanted to say first and foremost, my heart, obviously.
If Erika Kirk is truly going through heartbreak, many people online say the way things are unfolding feels unusual. Recently, Candace Owens sparked a wave of discussion after releasing what she described as leaked audio from inside Turning Point USA. In that recording, Erika can reportedly be heard laughing and casually talking, sounding surprisingly relaxed while discussing event details. In the clip, Erika is allegedly giggling while going over attendance numbers, crowd turnout, and planning details connected to the memorial event honoring Charlie Kirk. What really caught listeners off guard is that the event reportedly happened only 11 days after his passing.
We were able to pull off an event of the century. Like, it's just insane. We had over 275,000 people. Insane.
Instead of the quiet and emotional tone many expected, the conversation sounds more like a planning recap than a deeply emotional moment. She reportedly talks about the figures, merchandise sales, and overall event performance almost like she is reviewing the results of a large conference. For many viewers, hearing the recording, that upbeat tone felt surprising considering the situation. A memorial gathering is usually centered around reflection and remembrance, yet the energy in the conversation sounded much more business-focused. And then came the comments
that heard the gospel and all about Charlie and all about everything that you guys do, and the hard work of Turning Point USA is insane. We had thousands that were registered to vote. I think we're at like over 200,000 for merch sales. Don't quote me on that because I think it just keeps like bumping up.
That really got people talking. Erika reportedly referred to her late husband's memorial as the event of the century. The way she says it, critics claim she sounds genuinely excited about the turnout and the attention around it, which many online say feels unusual given the circumstances. But the conversation did not stop there. According to listeners who reviewed the recording,
if any of you have beef with each other from the past or have any issues with someone said something about this or that, like, if you guys have any of that, please put it to rest. My husband's dead. Like, I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead. Just lay it to rest. And we are moving forward, Turning Point USA 2.0 with Charlie in our hearts, and that's what he...
Erika quickly shifts the focus toward the money coming in from merchandise and the surge of new donors signing up to support Turning Point USA. Instead of staying centered on remembrance, the discussion reportedly moves straight into growth numbers and organizational momentum. The way the conversation unfolds makes some critics feel like the memorial gathering also became a major promotional moment for the organization. Attendance figures, merchandise performance, and supporter engagement are all mentioned as if this were a recap of a large event campaign rather than a deeply emotional occasion.
Our leadership teams provide for you counselors, pastors. I heard there were therapy dogs. Slightly jealous that I didn't get to have any moment with a therapy dog. We have so much to do, which is exciting. Since his assassination, we have 100,000 chapter requests. We have 300,000 new donors. That is a blessing in itself. Again, not normal. All God. I think we have 50,000 plus hat orders to fulfill. It's weird to say I'm excited. I really hesitate saying that. It's really hard for me to say that. It's a really weird thing to say, but I think it comes from a space of...
Then comes a moment in the audio that many listeners say truly stunned them. At one point, Erika reportedly says, "My husband's gone." The line is short and direct, and some people online claim the tone sounded very calm, almost without visible emotion behind it. That single sentence quickly sparked a wave of reactions across social media, with viewers debating what they had just heard. Even after that moment, the recording reportedly continues. Erika begins talking about plans for bringing therapists and counselors to support the staff during this difficult time. But critics say the conversation soon circles back toward excitement about the organization's growth and activity around the event. Some listeners describe the tone as surprisingly upbeat. In the same discussion where she mentions, "Yeah, he's gone," she reportedly moves right into talking about merchandise sales and supporter engagement. At one point, she even highlights how many hats were sold, sounding energized about the numbers. For many people hearing the clip, that contrast is exactly what made the conversation feel so jarring.
Oh, look at all the thumbs up. Look how cute that is. Sorry, it's just a little bit more informal than probably Charlie would be reacting. How sweet. I didn't know they could do that. I hate Zoom. I never liked Zoom. Sorry, you guys. I just wanted to say first and foremost, my heart obviously is broken for you guys as much as it is for our family. You guys lost not only a boss, but someone that you looked up to, someone that you believed in.
At this stage, many critics say the usual line, "Everyone grieves differently," does not fully explain what they believe they are hearing. To them, Erika does not sound like someone overwhelmed by sadness. Instead, they claim she sounds more like someone running a
like hell to make sure that all of you have a job here. I don't want anyone to think that job's in jeopardy because your family, if you choose to leave, that's different. I never will, and I promise you, I will make sure that I never allow a point to where you have to leave because we cannot financially.
fast-paced strategy meeting, talking about numbers and momentum while the organization keeps moving forward. But just when people thought the situation could not get any stranger, another leak reportedly surfaced. This time, it was a recorded Zoom call, and now there was actual video circulating online. In the footage, Erika can allegedly be seen smiling widely and giggling while speaking with staff members connected to Turning Point USA. Then, according to viewers who analyze the clip, her expression shifts almost instantly. The cheerful tone fades, and she moves into what some people describe as a much more serious, grieving widow tone. That sudden switch caught a lot of attention and quickly became another talking point across social media. And then came a moment that really got people talking. During the call, Erika begins addressing the staff in a way that some listeners interpret as reassurance mixed with pressure. She tells them she does not want anyone worrying about losing their job because the organization is a family. At the same time, she reportedly emphasizes that leaving might be difficult financially for some employees. For a few viewers watching the clip, that message felt layered. On the surface, it sounded supportive, but critics claim the deeper signal was about keeping everyone focused and pushing forward. The message, many people believe they heard between the lines, sounded like this: keep working hard, keep bringing in supporters, and keep the momentum alive. But according to critics, the story takes another sharp turn after that, because not long after publicly saying she would fight to protect her staff, some claim Erika allegedly made decisions that appeared to move in the opposite direction. According to several reports shared by Candace Owens, some employees who raised even small concerns about Erika's leadership were suddenly dismissed from their roles. Based on those accounts, the atmosphere inside Turning Point USA reportedly shifted quickly, with staff describing the environment as tense and uncertain almost overnight. Candace described what she believes is happening inside the organization as a series of internal loyalty checks.
A series of 80, 90-hour weeks plus for Invest.
Yeah,
I've had no direction or explanation since we've come back. Our CEO has been assassinated. I've done nothing but bend over backwards for this organization to the point where I'm wondering if this is a prank.
It's not a prank. We're never that.
No, and there's no explanation as to why I'm let go, despite.
She shared stories from individuals who claim executives have been pulling employees into private offices and asking direct questions about where their loyalty stands, especially when it comes to Erika. One account that caught a lot of attention involved an unusual chain of events. According to Candace, an Uber driver allegedly told the organization's CMO that his daughter was friends with an employee who did not support Erika. That rumor reportedly moved up the chain, and Andrew Colvett is said to have confronted the employee directly about the driver's story. Another situation sounded even more intense. One former staff member claims the organization's legal counsel arrived at her home and informed her that she was being dismissed from her position right there on the spot. That story alone sparked major debate online about how internal issues were being handled. And then there is another account that left many viewers surprised. One young woman believed she was walking into a meeting to receive positive news after working nonstop on America Fest. The event reportedly brought in massive fundraising numbers, and she had been putting in long hours to help make it happen. Instead of a reward or recognition, however, the meeting reportedly took a very different turn. According to her own account, the meeting took a shocking turn. The employee says she was removed from her position during that conversation, and she claims no clear explanation was ever given. What she expected to be a moment of recognition quickly turned into something completely different. For many people hearing the story, that moment was hard to believe. Imagine working day and night on a major event, helping bring in huge donations and support for Turning Point USA. Then you walk into a meeting thinking you are about to hear good news, only to be told you are suddenly out the door without any detailed reason. That twist alone left a lot of viewers stunned. According to Candace Owens, stories like this may not be isolated situations. She claims several employees inside the organization have quietly shared similar experiences. Some of them allegedly described a workplace where people began watching every word they said, worried that even small comments could be taken the wrong way. As rumors reportedly spread, the pressure inside the office grew. According to those accounts, some staff members started believing leadership was paying close attention to who seemed loyal and who might be questioning decisions. Former employees claim the atmosphere shifted quickly, turning what once felt like a tight political movement into a much more stressful environment. Several stories describe workers feeling nervous about being the next person called into a private meeting. Candace says some employees were even questioned about conversations, friendships, and secondhand rumors circulating around the office. In certain situations, staff members reportedly felt like they were being examined over things they never actually said themselves. All of this has sparked a huge debate online. Supporters argue the organization may simply be trying to maintain stability during a chaotic time. Meanwhile, critics say the situation raises serious questions about leadership transparency and how staff members are being treated behind the scenes. And according to some reports, there is another detail that has raised even more eyebrows. One former employee shared a story.
And the first thing that I found very odd about, this Christian conservative company is they rented 2 stripper vans to take us out to the city. Once we got down to the bars in Arizona, they started getting us drunk, and very drunk at that. And then they started singling out people, and they would pull them out one by one to go outside and smoke like a cigarette. Now, when it was finally my turn to go and talk to them, they approached me and they asked me, hey.
Story with Candace Owens that quickly grabbed attention online. According to her account, she began to suspect that Turning Point USA might have had some form of monitoring software installed on company laptops. She explained that the night before she lost her position, she had privately told a coworker that she was not a fan of Erika's leadership style. Then the very next day, she says she was suddenly dismissed from her role. The timing left her questioning whether internal conversations might somehow have been tracked or flagged. While that claim has not been publicly confirmed, the story quickly added another layer of suspicion to the growing list of allegations circulating online. At the same time, some commentators have taken a very different view of the situation. Looking at the reports of tension inside the organization, a few critics argue that the employees who left might actually be better off stepping away from such a stressful environment. From their perspective, leaving could eventually turn out to be a positive turning point. Some online voices even described the situation in blunt terms, claiming that certain former staff members may have escaped a toxic workplace culture. Others suggested that walking away might end up being a blessing in disguise once everything settles down. Meanwhile, critics say Erika may not have fully considered what could happen after removing so many frustrated employees. Those same former staff members are now potential whistleblowers, and some have already begun sharing their experiences about what they claim was happening behind the scenes. One of the first individuals to speak publicly was Joshua Peterson. According to his account, what he witnessed inside the organization did not always match the polished public image the group strongly promotes. Joshua claimed that early in his time there, he saw senior figures organizing.
We're part of it, like Israeli groups and forces. We've been working for Turning Point for the past 4 or 5 years now. They were Israeli agents within Turning Point USA, and I knew that there were more as well. And we did end up bringing it up to our administration at Turning Point that this was going on, and they said they would take care of it. And sure enough, nothing.
Party buses and social outings where new recruits were taken from bar to bar, with alcohol reportedly flowing freely during those nights. According to the account shared by Joshua Peterson, some of the situations during those outings raised serious concerns. He claimed that during a few of these gatherings, certain recruits present were not legally permitted to drink alcohol. Hearing that detail made the story even more troubling for many people following the discussion online. Joshua said the overall atmosphere during some of these nights felt completely out of step with the public image promoted by Turning Point USA. Instead of the structured and values-focused
church, I'm listening to this TPUSA speaker go on and on about Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and how they're evil and anti-Semitic. And he basically indirectly is saying we should support Israel because Jesus was a Jew and we wouldn't have Christianity without Judaism. I don't think Charlie Kirk would stand for that. We know as the weeks before his passing, he was starting to call out.
Environment many recruits expected, he described loud and chaotic party scenes that revolved heavily around nightlife and social drinking. He also explained that some new members appeared surprised by what they walked into. According to Joshua, several recruits joined the organization believing they were stepping into a disciplined, mission-driven movement. Instead, these outings sometimes felt more like high-energy party events than—
It was the 3-year anniversary. Or sorry, the 3-month anniversary. It feels like 3 years at times.
It feels like 3 years.
Doesn't it? I mean, it's got to, even more for you. It just feels like it was forever ago.
Professional networking or team-building activities. Joshua described moments where new members seemed encouraged to keep up with the crowd even if they looked uncomfortable with the situation. For people who had just joined and were eager to make a good impression on leadership, he said the pressure to fit in could feel intense. In his telling, these gatherings were not simply random social hangouts. Joshua claimed that some of the outings were organized by higher-level figures within the organization. That detail left certain recruits feeling confused, especially those who expected something very different from a group that publicly presents itself as strongly values-driven. As more former staff members begin sharing their experiences, the stories are adding even more heat to an already growing controversy. Some supporters argued that these accounts may be exaggerated by frustrated former employees. Meanwhile, critics say the rising number of similar stories suggests there could be deeper issues inside Turning Point USA. But the situation takes an even stranger turn. According to the account shared by Joshua Peterson, some of the same senior figures who were encouraging heavy drinking during those outings were not who they appeared to be. In his view, certain individuals involved with the organization may have had hidden connections that were never publicly explained. Joshua later said he came to believe that some people connected to the group might have been acting as foreign agents who had been quietly embedded within the organization for years. That claim immediately raised eyebrows and triggered intense debate. Across social media, supporters quickly dismissed the allegation as speculation without verified proof. Critics, however, argued that the claim adds another mysterious layer to an already chaotic situation surrounding the group. Either way, the discussion around these accusations continues to spread online. And it is not just former staff members speaking out. A young woman recently went viral after sharing her own experience attending a USA Faith Conference gathering. In her video, she explained that the event left her feeling uneasy. According to her perspective, very little about the atmosphere felt like a traditional Christian gathering. She said what she witnessed looked far more like a high-energy political rally than a faith-centered event, which surprised her and sparked even more conversation online. According to the young woman who shared her experience online, the atmosphere at the event focused heavily on political messaging rather than spiritual discussion. That shift caught her completely off guard and quickly sparked debate among viewers who saw the video. Many people began questioning whether the gathering truly reflected what they expected from a faith-centered event. But just as that discussion started gaining traction, the attention swung right back to Erika again. Another leaked video reportedly surfaced showing her speaking about the surge of attention that followed the tragic incident involving her husband, Erika Kirk. In the footage, she appears to talk openly about how the situation brought massive visibility and momentum to Turning Point USA. According to people who analyzed the clip, Erika discusses the sudden wave of public attention, donations, and new supporters that came pouring in afterward. What really caught viewers' attention was the tone of the conversation. Critics say it sounded far more celebratory than reflective, which made the moment feel uncomfortable for some people watching. In the clip, Erika reportedly focuses on how the situation pushed the organization into the national spotlight. She speaks about the increase in engagement, the spike in supporters, and the broader influence the group experienced during that period. For critics, hearing those points highlighted while referencing such a painful situation raised serious questions about priorities. Supporters of the organization see the moment very differently. They argue that she may simply have been acknowledging how the movement continued to grow during a very difficult time. From their perspective, leaders of large organizations often discuss numbers, strategy, and momentum because managing a national movement requires constant planning and analysis. The language used in that conversation made the entire moment sound less like a time of mourning and more like a discussion about opportunity and growth. As more leaks continue appearing and former staff members keep sharing their experiences, the controversy surrounding Turning Point USA and Erika's leadership seems to be getting louder by the day. One question kept popping up across social media after viewers watched the clip: who actually laughs while talking about losing their husband? That reaction alone left many people stunned and debating what they had just seen. Moments tied to painful memories usually carry deep emotion, because when something traumatic happens, those memories tend to stay fresh for a very long time. People often say events like that can still feel like they happened yesterday, even years later. That is exactly why the reaction in that moment caught so many viewers off guard. Instead of hearing sadness or reflection, Critics claim Erika suddenly burst into laughter while mentioning that her husband had passed away just 3 months earlier. What made the moment even more uncomfortable for some viewers was the reaction from Glenn Beck, who was sitting right beside her during the discussion. Normally, when someone laughs during a serious conversation, the other person might smile politely or quickly move the conversation forward. But in this clip, Glenn did not laugh at all. Instead, he appeared confused and slightly uncomfortable, almost like he was unsure how to react to what had just happened. Meanwhile, Erika continued laughing as the conversation moved along, which left many viewers stunned while watching the exchange unfold. If you made it this far, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video so more people can join the conversation. Also, drop your thoughts down in the comments because I want to hear what you think about this whole situation. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.